16-year-old Seiki had a birth similar to every normal child, but he was magically born with a wide range of psychic powers. He started to talk when he was 14, walked in the air when he was a month old, and when he was 1 year old, he started to run errands for his parents. At this point, his mother started to worry a bit for him, but because of their weirdness and laziness, they accepted him as he was. His parents are a happy couple that acts like silly lovebirds. At present, when he is in high school, Seiki considers himself as the unhappiest man alive since he isn't able to enjoy things normally like others do because of already knowing what other people are thinking with his powers. Despite all this, he thinks that his life isn't that bad. One day, his dad Kunaharu asks him to open the door to their house as his mother Kirumi has changed the lock again. His parents are always fighting with each other over meaningless things even though they deeply love each other. Fed up with all this fighting, Seiki uses forced telepathy on them to make them hear each other's thoughts and make them express their love for each other. There are 542 students in Seiki's school, but none of them know anything about his powers. According to him, all hell will break loose if they will somehow find out his powers. Back in kindergarten, Seiki would always win in rock, paper, scissors as he could read the thoughts of other students. He considered the kindergarten as a lawless jungle where rock, paper, scissors decided every outcome. One time when he was eating ice cream, a teacher came and asked him to share it with others if she wins a rock, paper, and scissors game against him. They played a total of 354 games, of which 58 were draws and the rest were won by Seiki. Enraged by this, the teacher stopped showing up at the school the next day. At present, during a gym class, Seiki proclaims that he can detect and read the thoughts of people in a 200-meter radius. But there is one guy who he can't detect, Ricky Nendo. No one likes Nendo, but for some reason he likes Seiki. Nendo is dumb and empty-minded that Seiki is unable to detect or read his thoughts. He can even read the thoughts of animals, but only Nendo is an exception. As he was thinking about this, a student named Takashi goes unconscious and falls to the floor. Nendo tries to help him by giving him a mouth-to-mouth, but it doesn't work, so the teacher tells Nendo and Seiki to take him to the nurse. In the nurse's office, Takashi suddenly goes to clean his mouth and reveals that he faked his condition. When the gym teachers eavesdrop on this information, Takashi blames everything on Seiki and Nendo, saying that Nendo forced him to do this. He considers himself a bonehead for listening to him. Nendo, being dumb as he is, tells the gym teacher that Takashi has the bonehead illness. The teacher agrees with Nendo and checks Takashi's temperature. Seiki secretly uses pyrokinesis to alter the temperature and Takashi is taken to a hospital. Afterward, Seiki tries to destroy the thermometer, but accidentally uses his magic in front of Nendo. Nendo thinks that Seiki has bonehead too and he is also taken to the hospital. In the school, an 11th grader Shun Kiter calls himself the Jet Black Wings and considers himself a superhero. He thinks that a dark force dwells in his right arm and a secret organization called the Dark Reunion is trying to steal it. When a poisonous snake gets loose in the school, Shun starts to think that the Dark Reunion has sent that snake. He tells it to everyone, but when they all ignore him, he goes to Seiki and says that it is up to them to get rid of this snake, not knowing that unlike him, Seiki actually has magical powers. Soon a student tells everyone that a bunch of elementary school kids accidentally killed the snake. Upon hearing the news, everyone makes fun of Shun. Shun tries to keep a calm face in front of them but goes to the bathroom to cry. Knowing that a snake will appear in class soon thanks to his powers, Seiki goes to the bathroom as he doesn't want to accidentally use his powers in front of others. When the snake does appear, Shun tries to protect everyone from the snake even though he is extremely afraid. Complimenting his bravery, Seiki uses lightning from the bathroom to kill the snake, making Shun and the others think that Shun actually has powers. Shun now calls himself the Judgment Knight of Thunder and became even more delusional. Kokomi Teruhashi is another classmate of Seiki. She thinks that she is beautiful from the inside and outside. She doesn't want to be arrogant and says that it is a fact as everyone around her gets awestruck seeing her. While walking through a street, he sees Seiki and thinks that he must be lonely. She calls out to him in order to brighten up his day and thinks that he has a memory to cherish forever since he randomly ran into the prettiest girl in the class, but Seiki just simply walks past her. She approaches Seiki a few more times thinking that he is at a loss of words, but Seiki refuses to acknowledge her existence. Seiki keeps on walking and sees Nendo in the crowd. Nendo is likely to create problems for Seiki, so Seiki blends into the crowd and teleports himself to the top of a building. When he is no longer in sight, Kokomi thinks that she was seeing Seiki's illusion all along and believes that she is in love with him. For Seiki, PE class is a nightmare as he is just too powerful, so blending in with others is impossible for him. Soon, a dodgeball match is held between his class and Seiki ends up in the team of the class representative Haori, who has an overbearing personality according to Seiki. When the match starts, Seiki tries multiple times to get himself out but fails. Nendo, who is on the opposite team, knocks everyone out. Haori gets injured trying to catch the ball, which Seiki intentionally lets himself hit with. Since Seiki is the only one left now, everybody cheers him up and tells him to show what he is capable of. Seiki can't lose or win as it will either make people hate or love him and give him unwanted attention. So he tries to eliminate a few opponents first before getting out. After he has eliminated a few, Shun throws the ball towards Seiki with a weird girlish style. Even though he wants to get eliminated, Seiki catches the ball as it would be too embarrassing if he missed this. He gets himself hit by the ball, but again Haori arrives and catches the ball. Thinking that he owes Haori, Seiki catches Nendo's throw afterward and passes the ball to Haori, who then eliminates the last two opponents. Seiki doesn't like Komori because he knows what kind of girl she actually is from the inside. Seiki mentions that he can't control his X-ray vision just like telepathy. A girl from his class named Chiyo is in love with him. She wants to get close to Seiki, but Seiki wants to avoid her at all costs. She tries a bunch of plans and scenarios, but they all end up in vain thanks to Seiki's telepathy. After the class is finished, it suddenly started to rain. All students are going home under an umbrella, but Chiyo doesn't have one and hopes that Seiki will offer to share his umbrella with her. Seiki hears her thoughts and uses his powers to disperse the clouds.
I am the one, the way your son don't.
Chiyo thinks that they aren't meant to be together. Seiki tells her in mind to find some other guy soon, when suddenly a guy comes and offers his umbrella to Chiyo for the sadness and rain on her heart. Impressed by him, Chiyo believes that maybe she was destined to be with this guy. Seiki is surprised that he didn't want it to be that early, as Seiki's parents have patched up with each other. They want to live in the same room now but are too lazy to move the furniture, so they make Seiki do it. They make Seiki move the bed a lot of times since they are never satisfied with its placement until Seiki is fed up with them and makes everything return back to how it was. Seiki doesn't want any kind of attention from him. He mentions that he can manipulate the thoughts of orders in order to make them believe some things that are unnatural to be natural. Since his hair color is pink, he has altered the hair color of everyone on the whole planet so his pink hair color won't stand out. He even changed how fast people think and how quickly their injuries are healed, just to benefit him. Seiki comes face to face with a magician named Oryoku. The magician forces Seiki to watch his magic show only to fail his main trick miserably. Seiki sees that he has a dove hidden in his hat and hints to him to free it before the dove dies. Oryoku then tells his motivation for becoming a magician and says that he always had the ability to make things disappear as everyone around him, including his wife, has left him. Since he is a terrible magician, Seiki tries to make him give up by showing a ridiculous magic trick to him, but instead, it backfires for him as Oryoku now considers Seiki his master. While Seiki is watching TV, he stumbles upon Oryoku, who is showing his magic on live television. Seiki likes to watch TV as he cannot read the minds of people through it and is able to experience some excitement. Oryoku is planning to get into a box that will have multiple bad things happen to it. When he sees Oryoku struggling inside the base, Seiki decides to teleport there in order to help him, but realizes that there is a speaker inside the box that is playing Oryoku's cries for help. Since he has a 3-minute interval before he can teleport again, Seiki dodges all the traps and remains unharmed. After all that was over, he decides to go back to watch his favorite TV show, but accidentally spoils it for himself by reading the mind of someone.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
In the school, Shun goes into a room with a mysterious individual who supposedly works against the Dark Reunion. He tricks Shun with made-up stories and takes all his money. Seiki is aware of what happened and poses as someone from the Dark Reunion to take Shun's money back. Nendo suddenly shows up at Seiki's home to invite him to the beach. Although he refuses at first, he eventually ends up going after his mother forces him. On the beach, he goes under the water to get away from all the noise. Thinking that he has drowned, others try to rescue him but get trapped in the water themselves, so Seiki takes them to the shore. Shun and Seiki decide to follow Nendo since he is acting strange. Nendo gives a weird smile looking at little girls, which makes them think that he is buying cakes and flowers for them. They decide to confront Nendo but realize that he was actually buying the stuff for his dead father, who died trying to save a little girl. In the graveyard, Seiki gets a glimpse of Nendo's dead father, who looks exactly like him. Afterward, he goes to his house and reads a letter in which someone mentions that he knows about his psychic powers. Riita, the person who sent him the letter, decides to visit Seiki and call him master. He has the ability to see ghosts and mentions that some ghosts are present in his room since they want to see Seiki's powers. He wants Seiki to teach him psychic powers to see naked girls and win the lottery. Seiki refuses and accidentally touches his hand, which makes him see all the ghosts in his room thanks to his powers of psychometry. Riita registers himself in Seiki's class in order to get close to him. He tells everyone about his powers of seeing ghosts, and reveals the protective spirit of each student, which makes him popular in the school. After school, Haori asks Seiki to help him with the entry gate for the school's sports day. When they realize that they are out of the woods, Haori goes to the forest and carries a whole tree to the school as he believes in hard work and motivates others to do the same. Seeing him work so hard, the other students decide to help him the whole night. After the work is done, Haori mentions that sports day will happen in a month, which makes everyone disappointed as they could have slowly worked day by day. When his parents go to attend a wedding ceremony, Seiki decides to clean up the house but accidentally teleports to Texas out of fear when he sees a cockroach. He decides to go back since he has to accept the package. He opens the door and sees Nendo standing on the other end. He makes Nendo help him to get rid of the cockroach. Chiyo is starting to get feelings for Seiki again since her relationship with the person who offered her an umbrella, Takeri, is going bad. Thinking that she will bother him again, Seiki tries to mend their relationship step by step, but it all goes bad again when the couple goes to a restaurant since Chiyo is disgusted by how he holds his chopsticks and how bad his feet smell. After the school is over, Seiki wants to go home to watch his favorite TV show, but he needs to dodge everyone who is looking for him. He makes himself invisible in order to escape safely, but Riita accidentally breaks the invisibility by touching him. After his attempts of not going to the sports day fails, Seiki tries to stay in the middle ranking of events in order to not draw too much attention. When Nendo is playing a scavenger hunt, he realizes that he has to find a hair clip, so he pulls one of the two hair clips attached to Seiki's head, which makes him go unconscious. Seiki uses these hair clips to control his powers. When the hair clip is removed, strange events start to happen around the world, with people predicting that the world is coming to an end. Seiki wakes up and puts the hair clip back on, which returns everything to normal. Seiki is basically the Saitama of this universe, but with magical powers. He decides to leave the school but cancels the plan when he sees his classmates worrying about his health. He participates in a tug of war and accidentally throws the whole opponent team in the air. Since they are behind the other classes, Class 3 needs to win the last 2 games in order to be number 1. To motivate others, Haori announces that the whole class will shave their heads if they aren't number 1. During the last game, which is the interclass relay, Seiki is the last man to run, but he trips right before reaching The next day, a fire evacuation drill is being held in the school in order to teach the students. However, everyone is focused on every other thing besides the drill. They decide to break through a steel shutter in order to escape the school. The gym teacher, Mr. Matsuzaki, gets angry because of this as he just installed the shutter a few days ago. While shopping for coffee jelly, Seiki is in a dilemma as he needs to decide whether to go for quantity or quality, as he is stuck on what to do with the 3,000 yen that he has, and ultimately decides to get a single premium coffee jelly worth 29.50 yen. On his way, a baseball almost hits the jelly, but Seiki manages to get rid of it and throws it far away. The ball belonged to a child that was playing with Nendo. Seiki overhears that the ball belonged to the child's grandpa, who gave the ball to him right before he died. As he is unable to find the ball, Seiki trades the ball with an equally worth item using his power, and decides to trade the ball with jelly. At night, the boy and his sister send 3 premium coffee jellies to Seiki as a thank you.
Nice.
The news of a fortune teller is spreading all around the school. Shun decides to visit the fortune teller Mikiko himself, but ends up getting scammed again. Seiki overhears this and makes Mikiko return the money to Shun. One day, Nendo is taking Shun and Seiki to a ramen shop. Kokomi also joins them along the way for Seiki, and all of them go to a disgusting ramen shop. Thinking that she will look bad if she refuses to go inside, Kokomi decides to enter and forces herself to eat the disgusting ramen. The others, however, refuse to eat the ramen as it looked disgusting. Riita has been seeing ghosts since he was a child. He had an early phase of popularity in the school, but everyone eventually got bored of his powers. He decides to help a girl find her missing gym clothes. He realizes who the thief is, but the thief's protective spirit tries to persuade him to not catch him by offering to look under the skirts of schoolgirls for him. Rita rejects his offer, but the thief manages to escape because of the commotion he caused. The girls see him with the gym clothes and think that he was the one who stole them. Seiki is able to see into the future, so he prevents various disasters from happening, as it would be bothersome for him if they occurred. Seiki thinks that cats are highly spoiled animals, as he can hear their thoughts as well. While walking, he sees a cat trapped between two walls. Because of the cat's bad attitude, Seiki refuses to help the cat until it humbly asks Seiki for help instead of being arrogant. Eventually, Seiki helps the cat and gives no further attention to it. To take his revenge, the cat brainwashes Seiki's dad to take him to Seiki's house, but his mother just kicks out the cat. During Christmas, Nendo decides to visit Seiki. Hearing that Santa never gave any presents to him, Kunaharu decides to act as Santa and gives a present to him. On New Year's Day, Seiki is forced to visit a temple by his parents who want to make a wish. Soon, Seiki's classmates arrive at the temple as well. Seiki is disgusted by the fact that all of them are wishing for friends in their own way. Everyone seems to be getting their wishes granted, but Seiki thinks that it is a mere coincidence since his wish of having a quiet New Year isn't granted. Funaharu shows Nendo how to make a wish on the temple. Afterward, Seiki's parents take all of Seiki's classmates to lunch. Seeing how masterful Kokomi is, Funaharu tells her that she will make a good life one day. Everyone expresses their wish of becoming friends with Seiki. Kurumi gets happy hearing this and tells everyone that Seiki never had any friends because of his psychic powers. Funaharu tries to undo the damage caused by Kurumi's mention of Seiki's psychic powers, but all of his attempts fail. Seeing that Seiki spills a glass of water to divert their attention. After everyone leaves the house, Seiki erases all of their memories related to the word psychic, but the downside to this ability is that their memory is replaced by memory depending on the individual. All of them now have a different memory of the reason why Seiki doesn't have any friends. In the school, Matsuzaki confiscates some things which the students have brought to the school. Takashi and his friends write a fake love letter to Matsuzaki and make him wait the whole day for the girl. As Matsuzaki has been good to Seiki, he decides to transform into a girl and meets Matsuzaki. Matsuzaki tells the girl, who is Saki, that he can't return the feelings for her and just stayed with her as he didn't want to crush her heart. Takashi and the others reveal their position to Matsuzaki. Matsuzaki apologizes, gives back their stuff, and even repairs something which he accidentally broke.
Oh my god! Wow!
On Valentine's Day, Haori receives a bag full of chocolates from girls as he helped all of them at some point. Kokomi is chased by a bunch of boys as they all want to give her something. Kokomi brought some chocolates herself for Seiki, however she thinks that the other boys will bully Seiki if she gives him the chocolates. He throws the chocolates out of the window, but they somehow end up in Seiki's hand. Seiki pretends that he isn't home when Nendo visits him. Afterward, he is constantly disturbed by the spirit of Nendo's dad. He tries to get rid of him, but his powers don't work on him as he is a spirit. Afterward, he goes to Riita as Nendo's dad is his protective figure. Since Riita can't do much, Seiki separates his spirit from his body and gets rid of him. Due to her over-trusting nature, Kurumi is constantly scammed by salesmen. In order to take care of the situation, Seiki makes Kurumi hear the thoughts of the salesman using his powers. When Kurumi realizes that the salesman is scamming her, she gets enraged and chases after him. Afterward, Seiki stumbles upon a germanium ring that prevents him from using his telepathic ability. Seiki uses the ring and goes to the movie theater in order to experience a movie without subtitles. In the movie theater, Kokomi happens to have a seat right beside Seiki. Soon her brother, Makoto, arrives and everyone in the theater chases him for autographs as he is the main actor in the movie. This ruins Seiki's experience with a movie again as the movie was postponed because of all the commotion that was caused. Makoto decides to visit Seiki since Kokomi was concerned about Seiki getting the wrong idea, as people often mistake them for lovers. He talks with Seiki in private and tells him to stay away from her sister, revealing that he has a sister impact. He insults Seiki and tells him to stop dreaming about Kokomi. As Makoto was about to leave, Kokomi arrives as well and insults Makoto for interfering in her affairs. For Seiki, it is easy to get the perfect score in exams, but he tries to get mediocre grades by cheating to find the wrong answers as he doesn't want attention. Nendo is warned by his teacher that if he fails more than 3 tests, he will have to repeat the grade. However, Nendo isn't worried by this as he has a trick up his sleeve which is spinning the pencil with letters written on it. He chooses the answer based on what letter arrives at the top. Nendo is helped by the spirit of his dead who is rotating the pencil to the right answer during the exam. One day, Seiki stumbles upon Oryoku again. Oryoku wants him to be his assistant as his assistant got injured. He begs Seiki to help him as his ex-wife will be watching the show as well. When Seiki agrees, he shows the human separation machine to him, however he doesn't know how to use one. During his performance, it is revealed that he was married to Nendo's mother. Nendo volunteers to go inside the human separation machine. Realizing that he could hurt his stepson, Oryoku stops the performance and tells everyone that he isn't ready. After the performance, Nendo's mother gives Oryoku his bank card back but hits him in the guts when he reveals that he is going to buy another human separation machine. While the whole class is planning a karaoke trip, a student named Mira refuses to come as she has something to do. After school, Seiki goes to eat coffee jelly in a restaurant. Mira, who works at the restaurant, gets startled seeing Seiki and drops the jelly, so she brings him a new one as an apology. She begs Seiki to keep her job a secret as the school doesn't allow part-time jobs. Unluckily, Matsuzaki sees her working in the restaurant. Seeing that, Seiki changes the whole world and makes it normal for the students to do a part-time job. Afterward, Mira agrees to go to karaoke. In the school, a physical fitness test is taking place. Seiki, as his usual self, tries his best to not appear on the top. Haori thinks of Nendo as a rival in physical activities, but ends up falling behind in every test except the flexibility test, but he is beaten by Shun in this one. Since the day he rescued the cat, it comes every day and meows at Seiki to take revenge. Seiki turns into a cat, hoping to get rid of him by fixing him with a female cat. The plan backfires when the male cat starts to act like a pervert. Seiki throws the male cat away, which makes the female cat fall in love with him, and both cats wait for Seiki outside his home. Seiki is playing a game with unskippable cutscenes. After enduring it a couple of times, he manages to finally reach a save point, but a bug causes the game to start from the beginning again. Seiki, Nendo, and Shun run into Shun's mother while walking, who then invites the children to her home for some food and tea. At her home, she gets angry at them when she realizes that they have no interest in studying. She tells Shun to choose her friends wisely. She goes back to Seiki and realizes that they have done a huge amount of study, all thanks to Seiko. Ryuta wants Seiki to hook him up with a girl he likes. When Seiki refuses, he decides to use spirits that were popular with girls. He allows the two spirits to possess him one by one, but both of his attempts to win her heart fail miserably. Seiki catches a balloon for a child named Yuta, which makes Yuta think that he is Cyborg Cider Man version 2, who is some soda superhero. He forces Seiki to spend time but soon realizes that he can't find her mother. Seiki carries him on his back and flies into the sky to find his mother. He drops the child to his mother and quickly disappears. He goes home and realizes that Yuta and his mother are his neighbors now. When Kunaharu is late for work, he makes Seiki teleport him to the office by bribing him with coffee jelly. Seiki ends up taking a tour of the place where Kunaharu works. Kunaharu reveals that his company publishes comics. Seiki sees everyone, including his father, treating the artists very badly. As Seiki is about to leave the building, Kunaharu rushes to him for help as he has dropped coffee on some manga panels. As Seiki was enjoying some alone time, Yuta visits him as he wants to watch a Cider Man Blu-ray with him, in which the Cider Man fights with lemon cider and ends up creating the lemon cider drink. Soon after, Nendo arrives with a bunch of lemon cider bottles. Yuta gets startled seeing Nendo, as resembles the Baron Cola, who is another character in the Cider Man universe. Nendo poses as Baron Cola and scares him out of the house. Seiki goes to a festival and mentions that he has some good memories of going to festivals with his parents. When he was buying candies, he realized that he and a few others had their wallets stolen. In the huge crowd, it is difficult for Seiki to detect the thief, but he eventually manages to catch the thief and return everyone's wallets. Kokomi and Chiyo run into each other and decide to go to a restaurant together. During their talks, they both start to suspect that the other likes Sayaki as well. Seiki, who happens to be sitting at a table beside them with Shun and Nendo, gets noticed by the girls. He pushes Nendo into Kokomi and Shun into Chiyo. Chiyo starts to think that Kokomi likes Nendo, while Kokomi starts to think that Chiyo likes Shun. As the time for the class trip approaches, Kokomi tries their best to get into the same group as Seiki, but Seiki rigs the selection so they won't end up together. Kokomi and Chiyo swaps with someone to be in Seiki's group. When it is revealed that Mira won't be coming, all of Seiki's group is torn apart to be adjusted in the other group. Makoto approaches Seiki in the night and gives him 2 tickets for the both of them as he can't let Seiki be with her sister. When he goes away, Seiki notices an exhausted Mira with her siblings and gives one of the tickets to her so she can join the trip. While students were waiting for the plane to arrive, it was revealed that the plane was delayed because of a hurricane. Seeing all of them, Seiki gets rid of the hurricane so their trip to Okinawa won't be delayed. During the flight, Seiki takes a map and accidentally glimpses into the future to see that the plane will crash into the water. After he wakes up, something starts to go wrong with the plane and it starts the descent. However, Seiki gets out of the plane and carries it by hand to the airport. While roaming around Okinawa, Shun gets forced into buying a ton of souvenirs while Mira, along with Chiyo, is eating free samples from every shop. In the night during bath time, Takahashi along with his friends try to peek at the girls, but Seiki messes up their plans. Seiki goes to sit on a bench alone as he is tired because of overusing his magic. While he is asleep, Kokomi takes off one of his hair clips. He is woken by Riita, who tells him that he has made the hotel, in which all students were studying, disappear. That's all for today. How do you think the story of the disastrous life of Seiki K proceeds from this point? Let us know in the comments down below. Do leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.